Nerdrotic.com.
What's up? Right on. No, we're not on time. We're super late. Sorry. I apologize. Yeah. Me and Chris get to yakking, and time just flies away. So I apologize to the audience. Usually I say don't apologize unless you did something wrong, and I did something wrong. So I'm sorry. And we are here on a hump day with a nooner. Everybody loves a nooner. I know I do, and I know you do too. And we've got a couple things to talk about today, including if you could, X-Ray Girl, if you could find a mirror of the Rolling Stone article about Star Wars theory, because the very legitimate news source, citadel of journalism known as Rolling Stone, decided to write an article about what someone said to Star Wars theory that Chris said before, that we've said on this
like over and over again
that people have said before we said it. I mean, going, all the way to the earliest parts of Disney, including Bob Iger. And just want to point that out. And it stirred up some controversy with fives and tens of people. And we're going to see if we can find the mirror. It's because they put it behind a paywall, because
I have it without the paywall.
Citadel of journalism. And this is not the only thing that's doing, but you're starting to see these fan bait articles go behind paywalls. I wonder what's behind that, because they need some money.
Well, a couple interesting things. Mainstream media is dying even quicker than I thought it would.
Oh,
one, Sports Illustrated, huge. I wonder what the reasons for that are. Secondly, the LA Times laid off 115 people, including I was talking to Paulie from the Latino Slant, and he was telling me that they just launched this new online thing called De Los, which is all these I don't want to say Latinx because that's lame. But all these Latin writers, Hispanic writers, whatever, who are writing for it, and that's all gone. They laid off a ton of people. The best thing is the LA Times made the announcement on their official Twitter. Read the comments. The comments are like chef's kiss. It's like people saying maybe you should have been more critical of the politicians like Karen Bass, or stop throwing softballs at Gavin Newsom. Maybe if you had just reported news instead of pushing ideology.
Oh, I don't know. Larry Elder, the black face of white supremacy. Fuckity bye.
Right. People were quoting stories, all the anti-white stuff that's in the LA Times has been the most anti-white rhetoric. And I'm just how about just pro,
truth.
One, truth. How about truth? And one, they do not hold politicians accountable for anything.
No.
I remember in the 90s reading LA Weekly, and there would be investigative stories talking about BS happening in the city. Nothing like that even exists in LA anymore, or maybe even any city. And it's disgusting.
No, and you had a really questionable mayoral election that had a late night dump of votes. Not a single word was brought up about that. And that's just going to be the way now, because the press and the state are one. Isn't that fascism?
Yes. It's I've had a tweet sitting in my drafts for a long time. It says the fourth estate is just the state.
Yep.
The fourth estate being journalism, which holds
and all of our generation, our do-it-yourself punk rock generation, are a bunch of socialist communist honks now. Such a disappointing Gen X.
Yeah, well, not
Such a
me.
disappointment. I know, not you. Some
Yeah.
of us hung on a little bit to that
Yeah.
whole do it yourself thing. Don't rely on the state, but man, they just need that state titty, that corporate titty. They need it. They need it. It's you know, it's why if all these writers and all of these actors were so fucking good, go out on your own. Go out on your own. Like, you know what? Good writers do go out on their own. Go write a novel. Go out on your own. You don't need a corporation that you wanted to burn down, by the way, last year, WGA. You were talking about break up the system. Blah, 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 blah. No, we really want to make a deal with you. Please make us a deal. Please, Daddy. Please, Daddy, state, take care of me.
And look, by the way, I would not celebrate the loss of those jobs, but it's weak leadership at the top and the middle management that didn't say, look, yeah, but I'll say this, you know, I say this all the time. Film Threat is a politically agnostic media outlet. We have people on all sides of the political aisle, and guess what? We all respect each other, and we all are free to express our opinions about movies. Now, when it comes to news, a balanced view of things would, in my mind, should be the default. The default setting is balance, right? You get opinions from all sides, and you're not vilifying one side of the political aisle. That's been the most disgusting thing. Is Sasha Stone is a friend of mine who she's on the awards film beat, but she's become lately more outspoken politically because she sees this rot. She sees this, you know, turning certain types of people into villains. And she did this trek where she took her daughter to school on the East Coast, right? She's from California, East Coast. They drove across country, and she's like, why do they keep vilifying Trump supporters? Like, they're, you know, I've met a bunch of them. They're just people. Like, and she was ostracized even for saying that, like, hey, they're just people and they have different concerns and whatever, and they're not evil. And like, and so she's like out of the whatever. I love Sasha Stone.
No, and that's see, she's a real person. She's a normal human being, which most people are. We were talking about the extreme, like there's extremes on all sides, but let's be real, the extreme progressive leftist is the one in power, and now they're out of power because the people woke up to their bullshit, because when they painted themselves into a corner by shouting out that whatever president they didn't like is the devil and is going to lock up children and restart concentration camps and all that shit, and then it doesn't happen, then instead of going, wow, I was super wrong about that, no, they get galvanized in their position, and they're forced to start just ramping up the rhetoric, and then to the point where we have a current president vilifying half of our country. On a fucking campaign. So
it's disgusting he's not called out for it. And just
he's never called out for it. Ever.
And absolutely I don't understand how, like, look, I've lived in Los Angeles area since 89. It was not great then. It got better in the 90s. They built the metro, connected the city. There's a lot of good things that happened in LA in the 90s. There were also some horrible things that happened. But the city's improved since I've moved here. I have never seen a quicker decline than the last few years.
Yeah.
And I don't even see how is it a political thing to, like, hey, we should get rid of all the drugs? Like,
dude, I know. And it's waiting for everybody else because of their bias, because they are so entrenched in this dream world that they've created.
Right.
It's theater. It's fucking mental theater, and they know it. And they were pushing propaganda, and now they're all fired. And no, I do not. I am fucking happy a bunch of idiots who disingenuously tried to fucking destroy our country and divide us lost their fucking job. Go to fucking trade school. Fuck off. I don't care about you. You knew what you were doing, and now you have to go live in the world that you fucking created. The cesspool, the zombie apocalypse with very nice weather that is Los Angeles and San Francisco. And you know what? Melissa had lived there a lot longer than I had, and I lived there for 18 years, and we pretty much instantly recognized, oh, this is going south. Like right now, I'm getting the fuck out. Like there's nothing to save. This is going to go south. And guess what? We were fucking right. It's just gotten worse.
Yeah.
Market Street in San Francisco is fucking empty, and it is filled with fentanyl zombies right now. And the media, fucking Hollywood, everything we cover has played their part in that. Well done. This is the world you've made. Fucking live in it now.
Well, if you want to feel a little better, just read the comments in the LA Times announcement. It'll make you feel better. It's really a lesson. And why aren't more people talking about it? Anyways, by the way, my Detroit Lions did very well. I don't know if you can see
I was
my
so
Shakespeare
happy
bust.
for you.
Well, thank you. My Shakespeare bust has a little
Yes.
Detroit Lions headband. So I try to change.
I'm rooting
something
for
in
the
my
Lions
background
for
every-
you. For
Oh,
Chris.
thank you. I
And maybe
appreciate
Dave
it.
Landau
I
too.
was-
You and Dave Landau need to like
Yeah, love it.
be happiest
Love it.
people in the world.
So we'll see this weekend. I'm excited.
I think
but
Yellow
wow,
Flash, too.
sports talk, political talk. That's why you
All
watch.
right, getting it
Nerdrotic.
out of the way.
That's,
Getting it out of the way. Well, I mean, in related news, a bunch of people got laid off at the LA Times and Rolling and Sports Illustrated, and it's all falling because essentially, said it before, these are 20th century models that, quite frankly, should have died a long time ago. Print is dead.
Yeah.
Print is dead.
Yeah.
And like a local newspaper, and this company's there to make money, and they could have made money. They could have told the truth. They could have told the fucking truth, and they'd probably still be around. Not as big, but they'd still be around. The LA Times, these newspapers, they'll just be websites. They'll get bought up by hedge funds eventually. Well, I think most of them have. That's already happened.
Right.
And then parsed out over time. They're done.
But the thing that's disgusting to me, because I will watch the debates of I watch the governor debate, watch the mayoral debates, and there's such softballs and there's such agenda and there's such an agenda behind the way that the questions are asked. Karen Bass was basically waltzed into just becoming the mayor. It was just
she was fortified into becoming the mayor. Okay.
Yeah, no, she was.
You want to know why?
It was
Because a fucking bunch of woke white people are like, we got a black female mayor now. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute. There's home invasions in Beverly Hills now. How did that happen?
Home invasions in Beverly Hills. And Beverly Hills, by the way, is ghost town. You think Market Street is dead?
Yeah.
So is Beverly Hills.
Oh, nice tent cities. 10 cities in Beverly Hills, dude.
Well, they're
what the hell?
No, it's.
I drove by them. You told me, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. There's one thing hearing it from Chris, and then driving away from your house, I drove by him on the way to the airport.
Did you film any or take any
we
pictures?
did. I did.
Good.
I did. I'm saving it for when I go back to San Francisco. Melissa and I are gonna brave a little trip down to the Tenderloin in Union Square and do some filming down there.
Oh my God!
Careful.
Well, just be careful. It's like there's certain parts of LA I just won't walk in those areas. And it used to be like LA was a town like, it's open till 2 a.m. Bars close at 10 p.m. during the week.
Yeah, COVID ruined.
No one's out past 10 p.m. anymore.
No more
They're
24-hour
very-
Walmarts, dude. It sucks.
There used to be.
24-hour grocery stores.
Yeah.
I miss that.
Well, luckily I'm in my.
You're in your
it
bubble.
may as well be. Yeah.
It's like an oasis. Yeah.
It may as well be a gated community. I mean, Pasadena is like kind of unaffected. It's like they've got their own police, they've got everything, own health department, own police. They don't mess around, and they're like, yeah, we're part of LA County, but we don't think that way. So they don't.
That's what North County, parts of North County, San Diego, are the same way. Like they don't fuck around up there.
There's certain areas where they're just like, yeah, we're not going to allow that here. So
ain't happening here.
Nope.
Hello, X-Ray Girl.
Hi, it's nice to be back on the internet. So I'm excited to sit here silently while they nerd out.
I don't know if it's nerding out. It's like Gary and I,
Well, I mean,
angry.
the political talk wasn't really nerdy.
No,
but
it's watching the WGA, watching all these unions go, how did this happen? It's like, you made it happen, you commies.
Right.
Yes, we're gonna laugh. Michael Malice was having the best time on Twitter yesterday. I don't know if you saw him. He was just roasting the LA Times all day. He's all, you don't know how. He's basically, you have no concept how much people hate you. That's what he kept. He got blocked by the LA Times Guild, and it was pretty funny. Pretty funny stuff. Pretty good trolling there. But on the Hollywood front, we could definitely start with the Star Wars theory. Chris Gore missed all the controversy, although he created it all, and that's just the way you got to do it, baby. You gotta let other people.
What did I do?
It's all your fault, Chris Gore. Well, I remember I saw that NBC article, which was based on Star Wars Fury. So there's two articles, two major, well, not so major media outlets. NBC, owned by Universal, and Rolling Stone, owned by Penske Media, right? Who also owns Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety. Wrote this article basically going after quite frankly, the really hot girl, woman, that Star Wars theory was talking to, where she breaks it down. She's like, she breaks down what the woke white woman is, which is the most privileged thing in this country, wanting to be victimized. Like Dave Chappelle has done jokes on this. Bill Burr has done jokes on this. And it's Marin housewives. Some of the most privileged people on planet Earth wanted to feel victimized. They saw Frozen and they're like, I want to be a victim. And then somehow between their boxes of wine and somehow all this really scientific marketing data from a long time ago, super scientific, said half of the population, which is women, likes to go to movies. And based on that super scientific information they got, they're like, wow, we need to make everything about women. We need to make all the boys brands about women because we did a scientific survey that half the population might like it. So we should do it. And you know what? Go ahead, try. They tried. Now we're almost a decade into trying, and it's an absolute failure. Star Wars is a boy brand that adults can enjoy, women can enjoy. Now it is a girls brand that no one can enjoy. And they're going to continue their folly and failure. And damn it, I'm here for it. They've done this with Marvel as well. They've done it with absolutely everything. They did it with The Witcher. I mean, they took like The Witcher, which is, a pretty dude game. Women enjoyed it, though. They did enjoy it, the game, as it was, and turned it into an intersectional feminist fever dream. The Rings of Power. I mean, the activists had been circling that forever. And they got their little claws into it. And look where it's at right now. Probably delayed till 2025. Probably being reshot right now because it's so fucking bad. But let's get to this. We have here, I gotta read it over here. So this is from fucking Rolling Stone. His guest said women don't like Star Wars. He agreed and sparked an internet debate. Is it a debate? Or is it just, yeah, you're right.
They should actually bring on someone who works in marketing to say, I work at Mattel. There are certain things that are girl brands. There are certain things that are boy brands. And there are certain things who was I talking to saying the only thing you could say is kind of a gender neutral brand is, and I just also, even just from raising my two kids and also knowing a lot of other parents with kids, dinosaurs. As weird as this is to say, girls and boys love dinosaurs for some reason. But there are very specific things. It's like, for the most part, Hot Wheels, boy brand. I mean, you could go through different brands and there are that doesn't mean there aren't girls, a small percentage, who buy cars. That's fine, but they're usually pink and have Barbie in them. So, I'm just saying that, I actually don't even think anything of what I've said has been controversial at all. But what it is this, what I'm pointing out is the push toward turning things into girl or feminizing traditionally male types of brands or even entertainment or whatever. It's a failure, and it's being widely rejected, not just by men, but by women as well, because I think women like male energy. I've got a bunch of shirtless Avengers that you could see. I mean, it's a trope in the Marvel movies, right? All the men get shirtless. They just do. So there you go.
And in that MCU book, they admit it. They're like, that was their intention. And here's the difference though. Dudes don't care. We could give a crap. We could give a shit. It's like, all right, give some of the ladies. It's all good. We're not gonna go, oh my God, they're objectifying men. Like there's your difference right there. And that reminds me, put a little pin in this X-Ray Girl. I want to go over the Barbie snub, and I'd really love to read, and I can find it, America Ferrera's cringe fucking speech from that movie. By the way, Her nomination is one of the most
Mhm.
undeserved nominations in the history of the Oscars.
They're giving the award to that speech.
Her fucking acting performance was at fucking best, an average guest appearance on a procedural show. That's what it was equal to.
Right.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous.
So, yeah, she's really getting awarded because of that speech. She's the one that spoke those words. And because of that, that's what people are reacting to. But ultimately, if you look at her performance, it was serviceable. She was a fine side character.
Well,
she's not a.
We'll
it
get
was
to
lame.
it. We'll get to it. But popular streamer Star Wars Theory has brought back a familiar, if unwelcome, internet discourse. You mean the truth? Yes.
Right.
The truth is uncomfortable to the weak-minded. It really is. Nia D is the streamer behind Star Wars Theory, a channel. Did they just dox him? Sorry. If
No,
I even read that.
he officially gave his name out
All
at
right.
3 million.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
All right. I'm just going to say Star Wars Theory. I don't even like, I know as his name, it's Terrence. No, I'm just kidding.
How dare you talk?
Oh my gosh.
No, I know as his name and comics name, but like I just hung out with comics. I just call him comics division.
Right.
I'm going to call him Ian.
Yeah.
Okay.
So behind Star Wars Theory, a channel dedicated to George Lucas science fiction universe with over 3.3 million subscribers on YouTube alone. It's a big channel. Most of his content revolves around dissecting Star Wars internet theories, debating casting choices, and discussing new announcements and releases. Yeah, we know all this. But it also draws viewers by courting controversy. During a January episode on Theory Talks, the channel focused on critical theory. He hosted psychologist Sadea Khan, who derided Hollywood directors for centering female stories within male-dominated fandoms. Do we need more women in Star Wars? No, we don't, Khan said. And women don't even watch Star Wars. They don't even care about it. It's a man's little thing. Let them have it.
Okay. Let me just say this. I watched that interview. It's smart. What she's talking about is really smart. It's like generally, and she's saying generally speaking, we're not talking about Anna, that Star Wars girl. Okay. Anna, that Star Wars girl, she's different. She loves this stuff. She's legit nerd, has deep knowledge. She is not an average, she's not even an average fan, right? Anna's different. In general, I agree with that statement. And also, the one thing I would point out is this. This is why I believe men are just bigger fans of Star Wars in general. I would ask a lot of women who claim to be fans, show me your Star Wars collection.
Yeah.
Show me now, I can show you a collection that not only has magazines I bought when I was 13, issues of Starlog magazine, toys that go back. I've got, some unopened, a lot opened. I have Star Wars toys that go back to when I was a kid that I still have. And I haven't bought anything recently. I think the last thing I bought was a Cara Dune Black Series action figure.
How many girls were a member of the first Star Wars fan club getting those little issues of Bantha Tracks?
Right.
1%?
How many could even name what Bantha Tracks is or what Bantha Tracks comes from or what a fucking Bantha is? And I know I'm saying, now I'm not saying this is not all, this is most. And I'll just say that in general, men like to collect stuff and have collections. Now I'll say this, and this is why I think this brand became so popular. Her Universe. You've ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
It's look, if a woman is into a fandom, generally they get clothes. There are differences. All I'm saying, the thing that I'm saying that I think is so non-controversial is there are differences between men and women, and men tend to like certain things that women don't like.
There's a distinction. There's people who want to be a part of it and people who are in it. They just like the popular thing. They want to be a part of it. They throw in there's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
And Anna has a great thing whenever she goes after like people in the industry, like whatnot. She says, name 5 books you've read. It is the best mic drop ever for a lot of things. And it shuts down a lot of idiots that are filled with opinions that, act like they know what the F they're talking about, but name 5 books you've read. I mean, not books that like were required reading in school. I'm talking about books you read recreationally. Just recreationally, you read a lot of books. I know
Yellow Flash does this with the comic collectors. He's like,
does he really?
Show me your long boxes. Show me your long boxes.
Man, I have to dig my long boxes out, and then I've like shelves of stuff. I'll do a little like video tour of my collectibles.
They basically broke something that worked.
Right.
I mean, that's the best way to do it. I want to get the Gandalf quote correctly. So he who breaks, I'm just going to paraphrase. I'm going to get it kind of wrong because my memory is shit though. He who breaks a thing to find out what it is has left the path of wisdom.
Oh, wow.
That is a quote from Fellowship when he's talking to Saruman. And that's exactly what has happened here is they thought Star Wars was just the words Star Wars, that logo. That's what they thought it was. That's what they think. Oh, well, anybody will just like anything. And quite frankly, it's strong enough to where a large number of people did follow that for a while. But it's been fool's gold. It's about nothing. Star Wars, the original trilogy, was about something. It was also of its time. And it was in the zeitgeist. So everybody loved it. But where it stayed in the zeitgeist was toys. And those Marvel comic books. And you know who was buying those toys and those Marvel comic books and eventually those novels and those role-playing games? We can't say everything, but you can't say that about anything. I'm sure 1 in 10,000 boys was 1 to 10,000 there was a girl. 1 to 5,000 there was a girl in there who was really into it like Anna. Basically a unicorn, right? But
right.
For the most part, it was dudes. It was dudes who carried it, and that's fine. Women enjoyed it as well. And a lot of women got it in the EU. A whole new generation was sparked by the prequels. That's undeniable. As bad as I think they are, it captured another generation of children, which led into great Dark Horse comics and the EU. And they just thought Disney when they came in, due to the discourse over the prequels and everything, thought, well, they could do better. And you know what? A lot of us thought they could too, and including myself. And I was completely fucking wrong. They were the worst company to touch it. Just because they had a Star Tours ride that George Lucas had a lot of control over the creation of, by the way, doesn't mean Disney understood any of it, especially with Bob Iger there. Bob Iger is a deal maker. He's not a creative in any fucking way, shape, or form, and doesn't understand it and doesn't know how to curate it. And the evidence is before us right now. He took 2 of the strongest brands and completely destroyed them under his watch. Can't blame Bob Chapek, who was just basically a substitute teacher, so Bob could sit out the hard times. That's pretty much it. So there is no debate, Rolling Stone. It might be debate among the shrinking numbers of activist media that make probably, I don't even know what you make an article now, $10. You're overpaid.
Yeah,
you're overpaid. So this isn't the first time Star Wars fandom has dealt with the disagreements surrounding racism. Oh, here we go. Like, they didn't even fucking waste any time. Remember, this is the rag that falsely accused somebody of rape and got sued and lost. This is the same rag. Same fucking rag. I used to like Rolling Stone like 20 years ago when they used to write about music.
Hunter S. Thompson used to write for Rolling Stone.
I know. They had one of the best covers of all time when Grindhouse came out with Rose McGowan. Yeah, like wrapped in bullets. Okay. Following the premiere of the most recent Star Wars film, helmed by actress Daisy Ridley, thousands of fans accused Disney of going woke. No, gone woke. Gone woke. Gone broke. We're not in the going phase. We're in the past tense phase. By having a female lead. Did you have a problem with that? I never had a problem with it.
Never had a problem. I like Daisy Ridley as that character. It's so poorly written. So poorly written.
But they're talking beforehand, and they're talking about the bullshit. This is what happens when political fucking normies try to get in here, and they push false narratives. That's why YouTubers exist now, because we're like, The Kelly Marie Tran stuff was completely overblown bullshit. She left social media because of fucking Hollywood and the media, not the fans. The Finn being a black stormtrooper was a bunch of fucking idiots who still thought the stormtroopers were clones. That's it. That was the only, and it was minor. It was fucking minor. Quite frankly, everybody I talked to before The Force Awakens came out, he was the most intriguing character. We're like, wow, okay,
Still is.
Yep.
A wasted character in the
wasted
sequel.
character.
Yeah.
Wasted. Well, everybody's wasted in it, including the legacy.
Right.
Hey, we're bringing up Kelly Marie Tran again because this is all they have. They'll bring up Moses Ingram too, maybe. Kelly Marie Tran, the first woman of color to have a leading role in a Star Wars film in 2018. New York Times op-ed, she wrote that she received sexist, racist harassment from fans. Their words seem to confirm that what growing up as a woman, blah, blah, blah. And this has all been debunked, by the way. She said in 2020, British actor Jonathan Boyega, who played Finn, a black stormtrooper in The Force Awakens, told GQ that after he was cast, he was targeted by harassment by fans. Again, this is all fiction. This is all fiction. The movie made $2 billion.
Yeah.
The movie made $2 billion. And in 2022, the black actress Moses Ingram, who received three bad comments on Instagram. And, it honestly, it looked like I'm hearing some feedback here. Heard a little feedback. Honestly, it felt like 12-year-olds trying to push the boundaries, but whatever. I get that shit every day. Chris gets that shit every day. We all get that shit every day.
Yeah.
They decided to have Ewan McGregor post an impassioned car video, which was a better acting performance than what he put into Obi-Wan itself. And the rest is her story. Blah, blah. So we're recapping that. So on the bottom there, criticisms of specific diehard fans accusing the franchise of bending to social justice warrior and feminist desires, which they did. Something Nia himself has echoed. Scroll. Is that it? Oh, wait, here we go. While Star Wars Theory didn't acknowledge the statement during the conversation with Khan, much of the online criticism has centered around his strong and sometimes negative opinions surrounding women characters in the science fiction series and fan spaces because they're poorly written. They're females playing male type characters because we need to blend all genders and apparently femininity. Although they pretend to champion women, they keep continuing to downgrade and try to destroy femininity. And basically saying the only valid thing is male. I mean, men are becoming women right now, or trying. It's gonna get really weird this year. Like weird. I think more than like 2020 was fucking insane and dangerous. I think it's just gonna get weird. I can't wait. Thousands of fans spoke against the streamer, accusing him of promoting and platforming sexist and misogynist views. First time, huh? On TikTok, women began posting clips of themselves enjoying and participating in Star Wars culture with women in Star Wars pushing a bat against Khan's claims by what? Cosplaying? I'm gonna cosplay and filter my 5 out of 10 ass harder on Instagram to show you I'm a fan.
Again, I would ask, show me your collection of Star Wars books. Have you read the Heir to the Empire trilogy by Timothy Zahn? What can you like? And it's fine. Also, by the way, like Anna doesn't fit this at all. And also she doesn't need to. She lives it. She is it. She doesn't even need to comment. Like that's her
Instagram
whole brand.
harder.
Yeah. It just like it's all like, of course, typical narcissistically make it about themselves, and it's fine. There's always it's I mean that's just also modern.
The women
today.
take pictures of themselves. Dude take pictures of their collections. Okay, that's
right. Yes,
that pretty much sums it.
Yes, yes. It's like let me show you my stuff. Let me
show you me.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, fuck that. Look at this. That's awesome. Forget me. That's the difference.
It's so true. It's so true.
It's true. Like women are like, look at me. It's weird. It's a whole, I think there's a whole mental ill. They say that people that post too many selfies is a sign of mental illness.
I would agree.
Yes.
Oh God, Chris, I could make a joke. That would get you in
I-
so
I-
much
I-
trouble.
I-
You-
The weird thing is, as much
you
as
know
like,
who I'm talking about. You know who
Okay.
I'm talking about.
all I'm saying, as much as like we talk shit on here, I hold back. I hold back on Twitter when I got my little kerfuffle last week. I was like, I just don't want to like make people cry, but I could.
I want. To
I can
so
really go
bad.
hard and be. I
Oh.
can't do it. I'd rather be like water, so to speak.
Okay.
So it's
Check-
a Bruce Lee.
Check
phrase.
the private
phrase.
chat.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. That has been mentioned to me by many people. So yeah.
No. Go on
Occasionally
Twitter.
has good takes
I
on
think
movies too. So
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
Just go on Twitter. You'll see it.
You know how
Yeah.
I see these women that are saying that they're kind of fans? They're like bandwagoners when a sports team goes to the finals.
It's front runners and bandwagoners, the kind of guy or gal who doesn't like take the. I think the whole thing was on your hat. You don't take the receipt off. That was the old saying for it. You still got your. You still got your tag on your hat.
Oh, that's good.
Front
Gary.
runner. Yeah, tourist. Yes. And
But,
there's a difference though. Like if
Right.
again, if you are genuinely curious, which is most people, by the way, if you want to come in and you're like, I want to learn about this stuff because it's fun and amazing, fans will be completely welcoming to you. You walk into a fandom going, this is problematic and it needs to change for me. You know what they're going to say? Fuck off.
This is exactly. You have basically nailed down what's been wrong with fandom for just the last recently, I'd say in the last like probably 10 years since my panel got canceled at WonderCon. By the way, I pitched them 3 panels. We'll see if they actually accept any of them.
I expect you get this.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I
I
hate
hope
to
I'm
say
wrong.
it. I may or may not go, but if I go, I'm gonna sit at the bar alone by myself. That's
I
what I'm
think
gonna
you
do when I
should.
go there.
I
That's
think,
what I'll do.
Yep.
My favorite was Adrian Curry, like posting photos of us, like, oh yeah, we used to party and hang out together, like at a lot of cons. I met her at the Playboy Mansion. That's how we met.
But
What?
you were sitting by
Really
yourself
good-
alone at the Playboy Mansion, right? I mean,
Yeah. No. Oh, I got a good story.
I love that people were memeing it. When I saw Chris, he was sitting by himself alone.
Oh.
It's great. It's great. Dude, Chris has got great stories, and I've never seen him sitting alone anywhere.
Well, if I'm alone, I'm pretty sure I was probably at the bar just getting a round of drinks because I'm usually sitting with a group of people that have a table. So I'm just like, yeah, you could catch anybody alone doing whatever. The fact that guy said that, I feel like he was projecting. Like it felt like something he himself was
was.
experiencing. I felt sad for him. I usually, when I see someone who's coming after me, I'm like, oh, what is inside them that is so hurt that they feel the need to go after me? Like that's what I.
Just so the audience understands, most of the people who levy criticism at Chris or me or anything that's like that on Twitter, 9 out of 10 times is another content creator. It's not another fan. It's not even a fan who disagrees. So yeah, we'll get sniped at, but the shit like that, like I saw him at Star Wars Celebration sitting alone, comes from another content creator. Make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. Is it about what Chris believes? Or is it about that he might be getting more attention than you because he's genuine and, maybe your podcast just isn't very good. I don't know. I have no idea. Wouldn't listen. Wouldn't even try. It's the same guy who tried to fuck with Jay and all other kinds of
right.
Yeah.
It's a weird competitive thing, but I always have felt I'm in competition with one person, and that's myself. I always look at everything I do like, how could I improve? How can I make it better? How can I do this? I always see it as myself. Matthew McConaughey gave a speech like that. I think it was misunderstood when he won the Oscar for Best Actor. He was somewhat misunderstood. It's like the point was he's not competing with everybody else. He's competing with how he can be a better himself.
That's the advice that I've heard it from other people too. I didn't know it came from Matthew McConaughey, to be honest with you. I actually heard it from Jeremy. I heard it from Jeremy at the Quartering, but whoever I heard it from, that's the advice I pass on to any content creator because that's what I do. I'm right there with you, Chris. Like I don't worry. I do not worry what other people are doing. Don't count another man's money. It's my dad told me because it's bitch made. So
Right. Except for Dan Vasc.
Except for Dan Vasc, okay. Drawing me into that stupid shit. But
yeah. I think X-Ray Girl just read the private chat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh!
Anyways. Yeah.
Whoa. I mean,
can't talk about that
were you by yourself?
I was definitely not by myself.
It's on a need to know basis, Gary.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
I have to give some context to that for the chat. I just won't say where, Chris.
Right. Okay.
Chris was telling us he had sex once, so I can't say
just
where.
once ever.
One.
Kidding.
Oh my God. Okay. Hashtag women in Star Wars. All right.
Hashtag women in Star Wars, baby.
Yeah.
Star Wars is gonna be saved by Charmin Obey Chinoy, who oh my God, I saw the direct. Ran with a Mike Zero rumor and made an article about it. I was just, oh my God. Mikey making a big comeback. Mike Zero.
Mike Zero, like because I get recommends, obviously from YouTube, and I'll see one of his videos and I'm like, oh shit. And then it's like, oh, well, Ryan didn't say it, or like Clownfish, or you know what I mean? Like, or someone else hasn't said it.
I heard that Mike Zero found a thumb drive of Ryan Kinnell videos. I decided to rip off them.
A lot of, because people will ask me, like, did you hear this about this? And I'm like, where'd you hear it?
Yeah.
This happened to me recently. It's like, was it a guy named Mike Zero? I'm like, yeah, it's not true.
Yeah, it's not true.
But sometimes it's like, he'll say, I feel like he's just sort of throwing stuff at the wall, and some of the stuff will become true later. So he can point back and say, I said it first.
Right.
Maybe.
Okay. So like when you and I were like noticing, hey, Star Wars has kind of gone south. They really diving into this, dude, using Rolling Stone's words here, critical theory and feminism. They're really diving into it. They're diving into it because they know, for one, it will shield them from criticism from the professional critics, because it will give them confirmation bias. It will also, they're also cowards, and they're not going to call it out because they want to maintain their access. That was one of the main reasons you get into diversity. It's like, oh, we got this whole new thing now. We can call the fans racist, and nobody wants to be called a racist, so they'll back off and they'll just give us nice reviews. If you don't think Hollywood's that corrupt, then you don't know Hollywood. Hollywood's beyond that corrupt. Absolutely, that was one of their motivations. They don't actually care about your cause. They don't care about gay people. They don't care about your racial demographic. They don't care who you vote for. They care about money. That's all they care. And they care about protecting your money. And they were convinced by a lot of investors and a lot of woke people that this would work. They were also coerced into extortion, the DEI extortion. And for a little while, it worked. It's not working anymore because enough people woke up to this and went, Star Wars does suck now. It just sucks now. Star Wars is more, if you want to, I don't, but if you want to compare, if you want to just say Disney Star Wars and George Lucas Star Wars are all the same thing, there's much more bad Star Wars in live action and in animation than there is good.
Well, I would say there are more great hours of Star Trek than there are great hours of Star Wars.
That's why I'm a Star Trek guy now. Because, quite frankly, there's only 2 great Star Wars movies. That's it.
Yes, Jedi I had a problem with when I saw it when I was in high school. I was like, it's kind of dumb, and it was kind of for kids, and I didn't like those teddy bears. I thought that was stupid.
Yeah.
I wish it took itself more seriously, like Empire Strikes Back. There was a clear tonal shift in Return of the Jedi. We could do there's an article, I think you can find it on Film Threat, but it's like from an old issue of Sci-Fi Universe magazine.
It made the same mistake.
The 50 Reasons Return of the Jedi Sucks. And when you go through the reasons, you're going to go, oh, I kind of agree with all this. Like, it's really, it was written by a guy named Dan Weber. Well, it was also group written, like people contributed ideas to it. Like, oh, you can't forget this.
But
I'll find it.
The word earnestness.
Yeah.
It was at the beginning of the MCU. It definitely, Empire was filled with it, and it makes it feel real. Lord of the Rings, greatest trilogy ever made. Stuck the landing where the Star Wars trilogy did not completely. It just didn't. Jedi is half a 10 out of 10 movie and half a 5 out of 10 movie. It just is, bringing those averages down, bringing those averages down.
This was, oh shit.
Okay.
This is an old article.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. I was surprised at the huge response and how so many people, including female and male Star Wars fans, came together by making their own videos using my sound. She adds, Star Wars was created for everyone. It was created to try to have as much mass appeal, but it wasn't created for everyone because, well, look at all the action figures that George made a fuck ton of money on. Everything merchandise related. Girls would wear T-shirts. Yes, they would. Absolutely. They would wear their boyfriend's T-shirt, so they wear a T-shirt, but they weren't buying the action figures, they weren't buying the models, they weren't buying the role-playing games, they weren't playing the video games for the most part. And we're talking about general averages, okay? So, yeah, sure, 5% were women, 5%, and that's pretty high. Same arguments go for girls love comic books. You know what? They used to when they made comic books for girls.
Right.
Back in the 50s, yes, they used to, but not anymore. Not anymore. So could you scroll that up a little bit? Just a teeny bit. Okay. Women have always loved Star Wars. Women have always been a part of Star Wars. You know that. I know that. And those who seek to make a quick buck off of shaming us for being a part of the fandom too, they want us to be angry. They're bullies, and we know it. No, yes, Marshall Lucas was part of Star Wars. Lee Brackett wrote an original script for The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, there was a lot of women crew members involved. That's undeniable. That was part of the success. We're talking about the fandom in the most part, and lining up a bunch of white women. I think one picture to shoot back was like, look at all these white women dressed as Rey, and it was like the blandest thing. They almost blended in with the white wall behind them. And it's like, that's what Star Wars is now. Star Wars is a lukewarm glass of water in a beige room. It's nothing special. And Disney has completely flushed it down the toilet by changing what it was. Women enjoyed Star Wars the way it was. And we have plenty of women around these parts who agree with us completely.
Yeah, I don't understand this whole argument. Is this like one of the greatest characters of Star Wars is Princess Leia, and Carrie Fisher, the way she approached it.
Yeah.
That's a strong woman, not a male character that as written, and then they throw a female in there as a proxy. It's weird.
And
that's the way yeah.
You were there, but you would have to have been there to know like how differently she was written. Like this sassy girl.
Yeah.
We get it all the time now, but it was rare. It was rare in that type of movie.
It made her cool.
Yeah.
I mean, who didn't like, I mean, like, she's very popular amongst women and men. Like Princess Leia.
There isn't a dude out there who goes, I fucking hate Princess Leia.
No one said that. There are zero people who think that. She's just a great character. And it really was. It's interesting to see, Jodie Foster was up for Princess Leia. She was one of he had like three different groups of three different trios that he was trying out. I'm sure you've heard that, like Nick Nolte was considered. Yep. Richard Dreyfuss was in there. It's really interesting.
Richard Dreyfuss. I love Richard Dreyfuss as an actor, but no. All right, that's enough. I can only read so much Rolling Stone without burning what
wanting to gouge your eyes out.
Yeah, burning what brain cells I have left. I'll have to. Yeah, I'll go over that, Chris.
What the article?
50 reasons. Yeah, well, I'll go over that.
You should look at it. You should look at it. Dan Weber, who became a writer, he wrote for Film Threat. I hired him. He was a writer for Film Threat in the 90s. He went on to work on Futurama. You can hear Dan Weber on a bunch of the commentaries for Futurama. He wrote that article originally for Sci-Fi Universe magazine, which I created with Mark Altman, which is the duo, the other half of the duo with Robert Meyer Burnett, who made Free Enterprise. So I knew all those guys in the 90s, whatever. And Dan wrote that article, and I asked him, I said, hey, can I repost this? Because Sci-Fi Universe magazine didn't exist, neither did Film Thread. Mind if I repost this on Film Thread? He's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. So I did. And it's a really good article. I mean, when you read it, you're like, oh shit. Like, I mean, if you love it, and look, there are things I love about Return of the Jedi. The throne room scene at the end is amazing. Among a lot of other things, the first third of the movie, I think is great. It kind of goes off the rails in the middle. There's things I don't like about it, but yeah, it's something maybe to look at someday. So,
okay, real quick, I want to talk about, oh my God, that's the fucking, I'm sure somebody has done this already, right?
What?
I want to read the Barbie monologue, but I want to replace women with men.
It works. It totally works, by the way. It's basically, that monologue is about being human. It's not specifically necessarily about women.
I've told the story before. I'll tell it again. Sorry, audience. One day, I was really proud of myself that I was finished with work early enough to go pick up both boys from school. They had separate schools. So I'm like, hey, how great of a guy am I to be able to pick up both of my kids today? And my wife's like, what do you want, a fucking medal for being what you're supposed to be, a dad? And she's right.
Yeah, that's the right way. That's the right
She's
reaction.
right. That's exactly what this monologue is. So fucking Hollywood and tone deaf. And people are just slobbering over it. And it's fucking retarded. Okay, so this is the monologue. And honestly, I watched the movie once. I was with you, Chris. And I don't remember much of it. I just remember her wanting to get credit for being alive, basically. It is literally impossible to be a man. You are so handsome and so smart, and it kills me that you don't get you're good at, it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we have to always be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong. By the way, all of that, personal hangups. I'm just going to say that is a personal problem. That is a personal hangup that you have to work through as an individual. People don't have to fix it for you. Society will not change for you. I will continue. You have to be thin, but not too thin. No, dude. Dudes think about it, but they're not comparing themselves to other dudes. They're just not. If there's a, oh shit, did I lose it? Wait. Okay, I didn't lose it. Guys don't think like that. Guys are like, if they're around a better looking dude, most of the time they're not even going to fucking know it. They're not even going to know it, and they're not going to be comparing themselves. You have to be too thin, but not too thin. And you can never say what you want. You can never say you want to be thin. Why not? Who in the fuck says that? You have to say you want to be healthy, but it also has to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. What, in a negotiation? What does she mean by that? Ask for money in what? In life? Just kind of give me some money. Yeah, that's crass. It is. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. Okay, that kind of goes for all boss. I mean, nobody likes a mean boss, whether it's a dude or a woman. You know? You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If it's your company, and you are the boss and somebody has bad ideas, you can squash them. You can squash them. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't like to talk to your kids all the damn time. I don't even know what that's about. You have to be a career woman, but also be looking out for other people. Do you have to be a career woman? Isn't that a choice?
It is
I
definitely.
think that's a choice. Life is full of choices. You have to answer for women's bad behavior. I'm replacing everything, by the way, which is insane. Agree. But if you point that out, you're accused of complaining or being misogynist or sexist in our case. You're supposed to stay pretty. You're supposed to say handsome for women. Oh, and make enough money and have the right personality and be in the top 1%. Especially for women who overvalue themselves, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much. For that, you threaten other women because you're supposed to be part of the sisterhood. What sisterhood? Sorry, I didn't flip it for that one. I like, what are you talking about, sisterhood? Oh my God. But always stand out and always be grateful. So this is women in Hollywood, by the way. But never
Yes.
forget that the system is rigged. I agree with that. So find a way to acknowledge that it is, but always be grateful. Yes. I'm fine with that. Life is unfair. Internalize that life is unfair. You're going to have to live in an unfair system and an unfair life, and be grateful, because that's just the way it is. Unless you want to be miserable all the time. Again, choice. That is a choice. You have to never get old. Again, that's on you. That's on dudes. Don't put that kind of pressure on each other, and people could go, well, that's male privilege. Sorry, we're born that way. But honestly, that's the pressure women put on women. Dudes generally don't do that. Some do. Of course, some do. Whatever. Never be rude. Never show off. Yeah, I think that's good advice. Never be selfish. Never fall down. Never fail. Oh, you should fail. You need to fail. You absolutely need to fail, or you won't learn nothing. Never show fear. Never get out of line. Again, this is for women. For men, we're just supposed to take responsibility for absolutely everything, which, you know, we did build a lot, quite frankly. But yeah, it's too hard. It's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. No. Hell no.
Yeah.
Nor do I want one for doing my mundane tasks. For, you know, I chose to be a dad. I'm going to be a dad. It's like, oh man, thank me for being a dad. Everybody give me a fucking medal. Jesus Christ. The fucking idiots in Hollywood thought this is a good speech. And it turns out the fact that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault. Wow. That is the epitome of victim culture right there. I'm just, if a dude was saying this speech, well, quite frankly, we've heard some dudes say this speech. They're not dudes. I'm just tired of watching myself and every single other woman tie herself in knots so that people will like us. And if all of that is also true for a doll just representing women, then I don't even know. I mean, maybe if you're calling out Hollywood culture in this, but that is what got America Ferrera an Academy Award nomination from, quite frankly, a mid-procedural drama performance in a movie. So people are bitching about Margot Robbie. Yeah, Margot Robbie should be more pissed at America Ferrera getting a nomination than her, dude.
Or that she got to say that speech, because that speech is sort of the heart of the movie. Like, I get why women connect with Barbie.
It's the fart
right?
of the movie.
Yeah, right. But they connect with it, and I think that's good. Like, look, that movie was not made for me at all. Didn't play with Barbies as a kid. Dope. And by the way, raised a daughter who was given many Barbies. She didn't like Barbie. She loved dinosaurs and Godzilla. So
your daughter's cool.
My daughter is cool. You've met her. So like, but also I think it's just a personality thing, you know? I mean, the thing is this weird thought. There are things that are more consistent that fit boys. There are things that are consistent that fit girls. Generally, girls like pink, boys like different things, like cars and trucks and getting dirty, and they're more physical in their play. Women want to control everything. That doesn't change when they get older. X-Ray Girl didn't hear that. She wasn't paying attention. Nothing. I'm gonna just let that.
I heard cars, and I just like totally.
And you just pieced out. But look, there are differences. I raised a boy and a girl. There are differences between them. I had many friends that had kids that were around the same age. There are differences, and they also have individual personalities. And this for this article to be so offended, that's why I posted that Bruce Lee quote. You know, if the world offends you, I can control you. And this is what I found really interesting about. Because I don't get into big Twitter spats. I just don't care. I like to post and ghost. But it's like, I noticed like, wow, people allow themselves or allow their emotions to control them. So then they go off, and I saw like I just either mute. I generally don't block unless I'm like, oh, you're wasting my time. And then I will block. I've started doing that now. I used to not do it. Now I'm doing it. But it's just like, oh, you're just wasting my time. That's why I don't like I don't like to get in those spats because I feel like I have other shit to do, you know? I just have I
Right.
have other like, you know, work. I'm, you know, working on a couple new movie projects that I hope to get going soon. One that I've been working on for years that's coming to fruition, you know, coming to a we're almost finished. So like I'm gonna do that rather than post. That's why I like basically I didn't quit Facebook, but I don't post on Facebook. I don't post on Facebook native. Now I post on my Instagram that goes to Facebook and people will see it on Facebook, but I don't Facebook, I realized this is years ago. I was like, I have written enough words or debated with people on Facebook, enough words to make a book,
Yeah.
which is about 60,000 words consists of a book. And a sort of Facebook rant could be 500 or 1,000 words. Well, if I do that once a week, that's a freaking book. I should have written a book and not a bunch of rants on Facebook. So I just said, I can't do this anymore. And my use of social media is light. I'm like a guy that doesn't smoke that bums a cigarette when he's around other people that say, "Can I have a cigarette?"
Always that
And then
guy.
that's
When he's drinking, he wants to smoke, but he
it's
never
just
wants
like,
to buy them.
oh
Yeah.
my God.
Well,
I had a friend, she used to like, she'd come over and hang out and she would hide a pack of cigarettes at my place so that when she came over, she would smoke. She's like, I don't smoke, so I don't carry cigarettes with me. But do you have that cigarette pack that I hid at your place?
yes.
But yeah, you have that friend that's like, that's me with social media. It's just like, fine. Like I use
better
it,
that way.
but sparingly.
It's social media it's just a tool. It's like a gun. It's the people. It's not the social media. I think open discourse is good. I think everything that I think fandom is good. These are normal arguments that will eventually bring change or not. Ultimately, what brings change is when people stop spending money on something, and that's happened because awareness has been raised. And quite frankly, they put out shit. I would love to say I had power or any of my friends had the power or drinker. We don't. We just flat out don't. The audience has the power, and honestly, the gatekeepers and the people who are the ones who hold the rights to these properties who have made shit. That's it. And what we have been fighting with mostly is the media trying to tell us we're liars, we're racist, we're sexist, because we're just going, that movie is shit. Dude, the movie that it had somebody a character we liked. It had Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, and we're calling it shit. It's not because of Daisy Ridley. It's because of what you did to Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. End of story. And they're still like Rolling Stone's still trotting this out. Sounds like a rag that was relevant years ago. That is just barely hanging on before they die. Not soon enough, in my opinion. Rolling Stone needs to die. All of it needs to go. We are the media now. And that's you guys. That's all you guys out there. We are the media now, motherfuckers. You did it to yourselves.
I think what a lot of people have awakened to is that the media is gaslighting.
Yep.
And not just about Star Wars, but the media is gaslighting on so many levels. And the fact that that's not called out, or they're so dishonest, and it is mind-boggling to me because I see it. I mean, one of the sort of reasons Film Threat was founded back when I was in college was just to become media aware, just to be able to look around you. It's like, you know, it's like in They Live when he puts the glasses on, it's like, oh, I see everything for what it is. Which They Live is like one of the few where it's just like, you need to remake They Live. At the time, they were more targeting Republicans, but I feel like there needs to be a version of They Live that
they never will, and that's where they show that's where the mask comes off, because
right,
quite frankly, what they were fearing, this is all I've seen, everything we were taught to watch out for, authoritarianism, read 1984. It's not Republicans doing it right now. It's just not.
Yeah.
Sorry,
not like they're the heroes.
Not like,
to be clear,
no, the Republican Party, for the most part, no, hell no.
They're weak-willed, if you ask me.
Weak-willed and allowed it to happen. Absolutely. They were the Washington Generals, and that's why we're so out of balance right now. They just got their asses kicked culturally, just whooped. And now, you know, people are actually fighting back, and the people in power fucking hate that. That's it. But for you know, we pointed out with Green Day, all these faux punk rock bands.
Oh, Green
fucking
Day.
Rage Against the Machine and Green Day, who were all like,
Cringe.
you're bombing brown people in other countries, but our guy's doing it now, so we're going to just be quiet about it.
Yeah.
Why?
So weird.
It's the same thing. It's the same fucking uniparty doing the same fucking thing. You know? So yeah, that's why they were never punk. Green Day always sucked. Breaking news. Green Day always sucked. So yeah, and we see it within pop culture, and as above, so below. It's happening everywhere. And this is where, we just choose to talk about it. And occasionally we get something good. We're shown signs of what people want all the time. Reacher season 2, not as good as season 1. Just not. Still the most popular thing out there. Top Gun Maverick. Yes, Barbie made a lot of money because they made a movie specifically for women that was not made for me. And, I chuckled a couple. I like the Ken stuff, which I thought was funny, but that was it. Yeah. The rest of it was fucking a nightmare. And then we talked about on Real BBC yesterday, The Independent put up, could you find that headline again? We'll put it up again just in case somebody didn't see it. It's pretty dumb.
There, so I don't know which article you're talking about.
Independent. Oh, here, I got it. There we go. Just share the headline because it's behind a paywall. It's behind the paywall, but we can see the headline. Does Oppenheimer's Golden Globe win herald a troubling return to Hollywood's macho dad movies days? Yes, because dads still exist as much as Hollywood doesn't want them to. Talk about war on Christmas. There's been a war on dads for decades on Hollywood. Decades.
The war on dads.
The war on dads.
Or strong male characters.
Yeah.
Gary, at some point when you need an evergreen, that would be a really good video essay, The War on Dads and Fathership. And what I've seen too is the way that they, I talk about this with some of my friends, they don't like, in particular, once you notice this, you'll notice it's everywhere, is black men. When it comes to black men, they want to make them weak or feminize them in movies.
They do. They do.
TV.
When Jane Theory was on YouTube, she broke this down perfectly. She was great on this subject.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, Jane Theory is not on YouTube?
No, she retired. She family stuff.
Oh, wow.
Family or career. I don't want to say sorry if you're out there, Jane. Sorry if I got it wrong, but yeah, she had other stuff to do. But she broke the strong black male was always either made gay or really feminized but they absolutely have done that. I'll give you two great examples of the war on dads. I'll give you two examples. Game of Thrones. End of season 4. Tyrion, this is from the book, right? Tyrion kills Tywin on the toilet. On Father's Day. That show came out on Father's Day. HBO once again. Westworld, season 2. The Man in Black thinks his daughter is, one of the hosts and kills his own daughter on Father's Day. 2 different shows came out on Father's Day, and that's what they chose to put out on Father's Day. You don't think there's a war on dads? There's definitely a war on dads. And
don't act like it. Yeah, don't act like that wasn't done on purpose. That's 100% on purpose.
That's just 2 examples. I have a lot.
Although that scene with Tyrion was actually a very good
It's a great scene, but it's
great
like,
scene.
Hey, let's do this on Father's Day. Would they do something like that on Mother's Day?
No. Nope. Yeah, that story I found I think they're forgetting the demographic of people who actually like to go to the movies. That for me, look, I am an older dude. I go to the movies every week. It's rare that there's a week where I don't go to the movies. And if not, it's usually more than once a week, if not 3 times a week, because I got that AMCA list. fact, you and I, Gary, we're both going to see Dune
tonight.
Dune Part 1 and getting a
Wow.
preview
Tonight.
of Dune Part 2. I cannot
jelly.
wait.
Dude, my favorite moment in that movie is when he's talking to his son. He's like, "What if I don't?" I'm paraphrasing. Like, "What if I don't do this? Then you're the son I want you to be. I love you. That's it." It's like, that was great, man. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I love that scene. Good dad scene. It's so rare. That's why when we see good dads, like, hey, Avatar had a good dad. Well, I mean, he liked his kids and he wasn't a dick. He was completely incompetent and a moron. But I mean, he liked his kids. I mean, okay, I can accept it. But like, it's so rare. It's like we'll give something credit for seeing it because it's so rare. Most dads are. I mean, look at Harrison Ford's 3 main characters have all been turned into bad dads.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You got to do this essay, Gary.
Well, to me, Rick Deckard is the main character, by the way.
Hollywood hates dads. Hollywood hates dads.
I could probably release that on Father's Day.
Oh my God, do it on Father's Day. Hollywood hates dads, and definitely use the Harrison Ford example.
I've actually I've bandied around this video in my head for years, but it would take a lot of work, just a lot of work.
But if you start now, Father's Day is months off. You've got plenty of time.
I've got time. And it's I think it would be. I've got a whole list that I've been working on for years. It'd be a little long, but I think it'd be worth it. We got something a little ahead of that though that we can tease. We can tease.
We'll tease it. Yes.
Let's tease it. It was supposed to be out today, but Chris wants to get it right, and I understand that. I completely understand that. So you have the Film Threat is doing God's work right now. All right, God's work, and it's because woke Hollywood. There was Hollywood and there's woke Hollywood, but Hollywood has become woke Hollywood, and a lot of people within Hollywood fucking hate it. And we content creators, and not just me, like everybody I've talked to has pleaded openly in videos and on live streams, and you guys have too on Twitter, of just like, we need to hear it from you. It's one thing for us to call it out. We need to hear the people who work there calling this shit out. It's not going to change until that happens. None of them have felt safe to do that. They still don't feel safe to do that, but they have now found an outlet that they trust in Chris Gore and Alan Ng, where they can anonymously reach out and give us stories. And we got the D-Files that was inspired from Alan Ng's really honest review of Wish, and then the WGA stuff.
Right. So the weird thing is that like I didn't want to do any of this.
That's
Frankly,
how it starts.
The only reason we're doing this is because other outlets that should be covering this aren't covering it. So the D-Files evolved from that, and this WGA stuff that's bubbled up with regard to identity over talent and merit is where this is. What we're discovering though is this is crossed into all aspects of entertainment, from editors, production designers, name a position in Hollywood. This has infected it and other industries. And so we'll be running a follow-up story to the open letter to the WGA written by a WGA member with a series of letters that were sent to us. Everything has to be vetted so we know that it's accurate. And it also has to be vetted in the sense of like, we can't put in any information that could identify the specific. So it's being done anonymously so that people can be completely honest. It doesn't surprise me, but it does verify a lot of things that, you've been talking about, Gary. It's like you're spot on. So we're getting confirmation, and the stories are shocking. I mean, it's like so I was talking to a guy from the music industry who was saying that whole concept of male and pale is stale. He says he's heard that for years.
Yeah.
In the music industry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wow.
I got emails saying, oh yeah, they've been saying that for a while. I'm like, really?
Yeah. So it's not a new thing, but I'm like, I'm just surprised to learn that. You know what I mean? Like, wow, that's something people say. Like, that seems just overtly racist to me. Like, if someone said that, To my whole thing is like, take a thing that someone has said.
And
If you
apply it
flip
somewhere
it to
else.
another race and it sounds racist, it is racist. If it
Yep.
sounds that way in my head, it's like it just doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right. I think this is all it's leading to a bad place. It's leading to a bad place because we've seen this play out in other countries. And it's
Mhm.
not gone well when people feel emboldened and they feel justified to lash out towards a certain type of person based on their immutable characteristics. That leads to a dark place. It's led to a dark place every time in history. We've seen it. And I cannot believe that we're blind to this. So,
No,
very
Chris,
disheartening.
I just think it's really interesting. I mean, and this has been in the way for unions of all. Unions are supposed to be for the worker, right?
Right.
We're supporting all workers and all workers' opinions, but half the workers within their own union are afraid of it. They live in
Yes.
fear of it. They're not their company, their fucking union. Like, why would you even want to be a part of that? That's why unions suck.
Right. And they're in fear that speaking out they'll basically be ostracized. Almost every person said, if I speak out publicly about this, I will be on a blacklist and not be hired. That's just because of your ideas, because of ideas that you would express that are verboten to even speak aloud. You will be, I mean, we're going to look back on this period in history and go, we were crazy. Kind of like how people are like, you see a lot of people memory holing or just like forgetting, like that didn't happen during the pandemic. I'm like, no, people treated each other this way. People yelled at each other I mean, the crazy videos. Someone should do a documentary about that era because we're going to look back on the way people treated each other, and it's going to
Somebody
be horrible.
should.
Yeah, I know. I don't really do political docs. I
Yeah.
like pop culture stuff. But like I see most docs are just political propaganda anyways.
Yeah.
Especially at places like Sundance. All the documentaries are propaganda funded by sources trying to push an agenda. They just all are.
Funded by corporations.
Funded by corporations.
Wanting to take out the competition.
Yeah, no, it's just all I mean, there's just I mean, not that like everything, I'm not gonna say 100%, but like it's just rare when something pops through and you're like, oh, that's cool. That someone actually could express those kind of views. I just think, when did we become intellectually not curious about things? I've always been like open, like, oh, here, like the people that were pushing back against me, I'm like, no, it's a boys brand. It just is. It always has been, and girls can like it, and boys can like Barbie for that matter. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, nobody's saying
you
like
know,
no girls allowed. We're just saying it's a boys brand. That's all.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
and that's what the girls liked, and the audience breakdowns prove that.
yeah.
Who saw The Force Awakens? Majority men. Who saw the large majority of The Last Jedi? Majority men. Rise of
Yeah.
Skywalker, majority male. Majority male. It just is. Aquaman had more women watching it than percentage wise than Captain Marvel.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
a higher percentage
It
of
doesn't
women
surprise-
watched Aquaman over Captain Marvel, which was, I think, 65% a male audience.
Can I workshop this for a second, Gary?
You can workshop whatever you want. It's all
Turning Spider-Man into a girl brand will turn out to. I'm just gonna quote tweet whatever the box office is for Madam Web, and I'm just gonna change my girl
Yes.
brand thing to Spider-Man.
Absolutely. No, I almost did that. I almost reworded your tweet, but I'm like,
It's
his.
fine.
It's his. So I think you should absolutely do that. And,
Okay,
and
I gotta wait
until
the box office.
All you have to do, because you can draft tweet. So I would draft the tweet right now and just wait for the screen cap to come out the night after and just hit click.
Right, of the box office for Madam
That's how
Web.
sure I am. It will be.
Oh, yeah, all right, I'll do it.
Come on.
It's in my drafts. I'm gonna do it right now.
It's more likely, like, for Madam Web to be good, it's far more likely that you're going to get struck by lightning on the same day you win a lottery you don't play. That's how sure I am. It's gonna be. It's gonna be a bomb. It's gonna be a bomb. Let's get to super chat. Oh man, I'm just sorry. Looking at a great
Wait,
cover.
I'm
Robert
actually gonna
Meyer
reword it.
Burnett just posted a great X-Men cover with Doctor Doom on it, and I'm just admiring how pretty it is. Robert called me. I was at the gym. I love Robert. We chit-chatted a little bit. I fucking love Robert so much. So he retweeted my video and said something nice about it, and he got a bunch of shit, you know. And every time I see him do that, I go, "Oh, do you really want to do that, Robert?" I mean, thank you, but and no, he just absolutely held his own in there, and it was great, and it was really nice. It was really nice, and I just wanted to point out that, you know what, Robert and I disagree on a few things, and no one's ever asked me to disassociate or ask me why I talk to him. Nobody's ever questioned it, ever.
Right. The few people that have spoken up to me, I just tell them I'll just be friends with whoever the fuck I want to be. And you worry about you, I'll worry about me. Or like, God, I remember when the first time I was in FNT, someone reached out to me and was just like, "Are you sure you want to go on that show?" You know, and I'm just like, I'm an adult. I can take care of myself. I can be in a room with people I may or may not disagree with. And I basically told this person to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who that person is. You might remember.
Well, I'm just going to say, you know, in the vast majority of fandom around these parts, we're just more fun. So maybe that's what they have a problem with.
No,
you know what? Jeremy talked about this on Geeks and Gamers, and he's absolutely right. He said when he was talking about the reference of Star Wars is made for everyone, and he's talking about Geeks and Gamers, and the same goes for here. FNT is not made for everyone. Geeks and Gamers is not made for everyone. Our sphere is not. You know what? If you are waving a communist flag on a rainbow-colored flagpole that's stuck all the way up your ass, we're not the place for you. We're just not.
Right.
We're not.
If you see the private chat.
Of course.
I mean, we had a whole Twitter exchange.
Oh, and that same person reaches out to, sorry, Jared, has reached out to all of us privately.
Oh, really?
And want to like do things. Yeah.
Oh,
so the same person who fucking concern trolled you has slipped into our DMs asking, "Hey, can we be on?" It's like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like maybe someday. I don't know. I mean, I'm not totally against it, but just wanted to point that out.
That's funny. Oh my God. People are, I don't know. I just don't like someone trying to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
It's like, I've been around the space a while. I do my own thing. And you know what? I'm not perfect. You know, not 100%. I'll make a mistake here and there, but I'm accountable and I'll defend my position, but I don't need people who do that. I think they have a different agenda and I see right through it. And I say, go F yourself. I'll take care of myself.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for your obvious concern for my well-being, which has nothing to do with you, you know, which is like, fuck off.
It's fake concern. It's fake concern.
It's absolutely fake concern. It's trying to assert power and make like, you might get cut out of the club. What fucking club?
What club?
Club.
You know, I've always done my own thing.
Yeah, I do my own thing. All this highly organized stuff. The only people honestly, I don't even tell them what to do. Like even X-Ray Girl, I'll ask her nicely, "Could you please do this?" Like, you know, and she could say, "No, I can't do it right now. I'm fine." I don't tell people what to do. I don't like being a boss. I don't. I like having a good team. They're fun. That's the most important part is the crew around here in Nerdrotic is a lot of fun. They don't have a stick up their ass. They know how to have fun.
That's
I mean, the same thing maybe on their spare time, some of them do, but
maybe Garrett on when he gets probed.
When he gets probed.
Yeah. You know, it's the same way with Film Thread. It's sort of a weird collection of uber movie nerds of different types who just like all like talking about movie shit. And believe me, there are political disagreements within, but it's like, whatever, like, okay, but there's not a like, you have to think how I think. That doesn't exist. There's a respect that's there.
No.
So, yeah.
Mike S. Hangout for 1999 says, "Hey, Gary, did you hear the rumor that came out yesterday about the movie Madam Web? In the movie, I guess they want to change Spider-Man's line, with great power comes great responsibility. Did you hear this? It wouldn't surprise me at all."
They covered it on Geeks and G&G Daily this morning, and it's a weird rephrasing of it that sounds like they're trying to change it. Oh man, it was on a tweet. Maybe one of us can find it, but they showed it on Geek, and I was just like, oh my god, it's god awful. I mean, I think this movie is going to be even worse than the trailer. Like we're talking about,
it is.
Yeah, like worse than the Marvels. God, how do I find this? Okay.
Well, at least there's hot women in this, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%.
But like, great job. Make hot women annoying. Well done.
Yeah.
Hail all. Do you have any niche comics you like to collect? For example, I'm getting wedding issues of PSA comics. My favorite PSAs are Spidey and Ghost Rider bike helmet safety and Supergirl seatbelt safety. I love all those niche comics. 7-Eleven giveaways. Free giveaway comics from the 70s are a big thing with me. I also love weird movie adaptations. So like just not very well known, like the Time Bandits comic book adaptation or Buckaroo Bonds. I live for all of the movie adaptations, but actually live on niche. The only things I'm like truly seeking out to collect are the most impossibly politically incorrect covers you can find from the Golden Age. Like straight up are just horrible. I love them because quite frankly, the DC stuff is cheaper to buy. I have bought some Young Allies and some old Captain America, which are really expensive, really, really expensive. But, you know, I buy one here and there. One of my favorites, this isn't politically incorrect. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, it's way over there. You'll have to look it up. It's Captain America in the 50s beat the shit out of communists. And that's why, isn't it strange that that's the whole timeline that they wanted to skip? They put him in ice and everything, and they just put him, cut out the part where he was beating the shit out of Russian and Chinese communists. And there's a great cover where he's just throwing a Russian commie, because everybody loves that. You're like, hey, I love him punching Hitler too. But they just leave out the throwing the communist one, which is one of my favorite covers. So yeah, I love that one.
By the way, breaking news. Dune Part 2 tickets go on sale on Friday. It looks like they'll be on sale at 11:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. Also going on sale, fan first screenings in IMAX for Sunday, February 25th at 7 p.m. You'll be able to see Dune Part 2, a few days. Well,
when does that go on sale?
I just put it in the private chat. I actually DM'd you on Twitter too, just so you know. So they're going on sale basically Friday. So you'll be able to see a fan first screening on February 25th only on IMAX screens. So
and it goes okay, that's Eastern time. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put a little notification in my alerts to get those tickets.
Yeah, me too.
So,
wow.
Oh,
I was just looking.
Dude, if you get a screening, I'll fucking drive out there. Get me in.
Well, yeah. Well, if I get a screening, yeah, for sure. Like,
no, I mean going to a theater screening, not a home one. But here it is.
Ooh.
Yes, just throwing some commies. Love it.
Nice.
But I like I definitely like weird movie adaptations. That's kind of the thing I like.
I've got like so many like
all right.
Dune. I have the comic books of Dune and like the weird
yeah.
Logan's Run comic adaptation is really weird.
Dude, Thanos makes his first appearance in that.
Really?
Yep. Number 5 or 6.
Oh my god.
I can't remember.
Wow.
Or was it Apocalypse? I'm getting them mixed up. There's appearance in Logan's Run.
Logan's Run of all things. That's
comic.
It might have happened in like after the movie because remember they did that.
Yeah,
terrible TV
it's
show?
it's like a little ending thing, and it's number 6. Yeah, it's number 6.
So it's beyond usually it's like the first 3 issues
Yeah.
are the movie and then they go off script and it was just weird, just like that lame TV show. But I watched it all when I was a kid. I watched all of it.
No, I love the
And I
TV
used to-
show, love the movie.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that Star Wars came out within a couple years of that movie.
Wow.
And you look at the effects from that movie and you look at Star Wars and they look like they're 20 years apart.
Yeah, 100%. But
yeah.
like also I used to this is gonna really date me. I used to record movies and TV shows off television
On your cassette.
on a cassette. I would just listen to movies. I would listen to episodes of
Well,
Star
you know
Trek.
why?
and they were
Because
amazing.
dudes, I would too. And you want to know why? Well, for one, because we had nothing. We didn't have VHS. You talked about, I talked about it yesterday. We had the Super 8s, the shorter versions.
Right.
Also, the Superman the movie TV cut was a completely different cut than the theater that you can now see. There's the TV edit that's a longer version of the movie. So that's why that was the only way to keep it, was to like sit by the damn thing, hit pause, hit the pause button every time a commercial came up, and yeah, that's what I did for sure.
These are Super 8
from the same school,
movies.
dude.
Yeah, Super 8 movies that used to get them from Ken Films or Castle Films.
Oh, the
There were
heavy
these companies, and they're cut downs of these movies. It's not the entire movie.
No,
You're
it's
getting
like 10
it's like getting it's like an extended trailer.
Yeah, basically.
So,
Chat, by the way, the Alien adaptation by Heavy Metal was fucking great. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting about some of those, the Alien adaptation, for example, they're basing they would do this with novelizations too. They're basing it off of the shooting script because of the time it takes to
yes.
They wanted the comic books out, and I think the Star Wars comics actually came out before the movie.
They did.
people are
All of
like-
them did. Yoda was drawn completely different.
Because
they based Yoda off of Ralph McQuarrie's early designs.
Yeah, so if you look at some of these, you're getting like, in particular with the Alien comic, it had that extra scene with Captain Dallas, right? Like it's all that stuff was done because of the time. This is why everything corporate has killed all that now. There's like total alignment with that stuff, which makes it kind of bland.
Yep.
But when I was a kid, reading a movie novelization was like the deleted scenes on a DVD.
Yep.
That's what it kind of felt like, oh, these are scenes that were originally in the story that they excised, which I like that.
Lover of Green for $20. Frank Gore, can you please say the following?
Okay.
Can he see it?
I will copy and paste it.
Put it in the private chat. Put it in the
There you
private
go.
chat.
There it is.
Okay, so I'm supposed to read this. Okay, I got to increase
In
the
the
size.
quotations. Oh my God.
Okay.
You and Gary are so alike.
Okay. MCU_fan has a crush on Kristanova. He needs solid dad advice from myself and the fellowship. You can send him your regards at Simp City on the GNG Discord. Thanks. Did I say that right?
You said it
I think
right.
All right. So MCU fan has a crush on Kristanova. Dad advice. Wait, are you trying to date her? Are you actually trying to date her?
Well,
I mean,
kind of going about it wrong. Just going to say that you want some dad advice. Being an idiot in chat is not a way to woo the women.
yeah. I'm trying to think.
Sorry to break your heart there.
I had a dad cast with Philip Chan that was really good. He gave some solid advice on how to hang with a girl. Yeah.
Oh, I love
Enoch Maman in 3 parts for $35 says, I saw Beekeeper last week with my dad. On one hand, the movie is a 6 or out of a 10. The other hand, the movie's pretty based. I legit believe the studio gave Ayer a diversity checklist. Yes, they did. And he played a reverse Uno and turned it into fuck yous. You want a strong black woman who brings up race? Okay, but she's going to apologize and I never do it again. Yes. You're replaced by a blue-haired lesbian Harley Quinn knockoff. Okay, but she doesn't get a hit in and lights, and he lights her on fire. Yeah, that was yes. His replacement Beekeeper gets lit on fire and gets the shit kicked out of her. We need an amputee. Okay. He'll be a badass with an incomprehensible accent. He was the best part in it, which makes him fun. Also, when Statham sees he's an amputee. He kicks his leg off. When the dike burned, I almost played the hole in the popcorn bucket on myself. Okay. Yeah, it had its moment. It went weak on the president. It made the female president like, I don't know. But it was Hunter Biden.
So it was Hunter Biden, which is part of why I like that movie.
It was taking a shot at Tech Bros and Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden.
Back to MCU fan, I would say this. One, I would clip the video of me saying that and send it to, maybe post it public or something. You could also do what I did in junior highs. You pass a girl a note and you just put it on a piece of paper. You got to write it. Say, do you like me? Check 1. Yes or no. Hey, it worked when I was 11.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you remember, did that ever happen to you, X-Ray girl?
A note? No.
No.
Do you like me? That's like maybe our generation.
The only notes she had were grades. They had grades on them, and they better been A.
My parents were like, no time for love.
Number 1 for 1999, Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, Marvel, DC, sports, etc. What did I leave out with the woke cult hasn't ruined? Science fiction, publishing, music, but we get the point. No offense to Cavill, but I'm worried Warhammer will get ruined as well. You should be. Apathy, borrowed time for IPs. Cheers, champs. Yeah, I think with everything, I think the only way to approach it, like I saw the Last Airbender trailer yesterday and I loved it, but hope for the best, expect the worst. That's pretty much it.
And I'll say this, did you saw the announcement that they're doing a reimagining of a more diverse Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
And
which they've already done. It's called The Wiz.
It's actually, The Wiz is very good because visually it's 100% different than, and also Michael Jackson's in it, Diana Ross, like actual real talented people were a part of that. And I saw The Wiz when I was a kid and I loved it. I like The Wizard of Oz, completely different thing. And I also like The Wiz. By the way, Wizard of Oz coming back to theaters.
Really?
I already have tickets.
So on the diversity front, somebody asked James Gunn on that stupid fucking Instagram version of Twitter, whatever it's called,
Threads.
If the Ta-Nehisi Coates, J.J. Abrams Superman is still in development, and James Gunn said yes. Now, in development means we'll probably never see it, but they'll probably openly never cancel it because it would look bad. But he said yes. I Sheen for $20. War on Dads. Look back to Joss Whedon's Ted Bott as Buffy's evil stepdad. Yeah. Tario Psycho hillbilly fundamentalist dad. Buffy's own dad, who went from inept early to, well, he was actually there. He went from like, she really wanted to, she did this ice skating thing with her dad, then he blew her off for work to like just not being around. Oh yeah. I mean, Hollywood's been doing it forever. David Smart, all hail. Hey guys, what do you think? Dude, rewatching, I love fucking Buffy and Angel. But rewatching it with the lens of like knowing what Joss Whedon, well, what I always thought he was, a fake male feminist. It's interesting watching because it's basically Joss Whedon has always said Buffy was basically a metaphor. The vampires were a metaphor for teenage angst, basically. Teenage angst. I think it's a metaphor for the inner conflict of Joss Whedon. That's what I think. I think that's all it is. There's even, Charisma Carpenter came out and led the Me Too campaign against him because essentially he was a dick on set, which by the way is not against the law. But there is an actual episode of Angel where there's a director and a writer being a complete dick to Charisma Carpenter's Cordelia on a commercial set. And I'm like, wow, that really played out differently. Really weird. Also keep in mind though, two of the writers who made the greatest Marvel live action thing ever, Daredevil, worked on mostly Angel towards the end. And that would be Drew Goddard and Stephen DeKnight. All hail, guys. What do you think of the movie Poor Things? I personally hate the film. Seeing skinny Emma Stone and naked Mark Ruffalo, I wanted to vomit in my popcorn. Gary, Spidey shouldn't cry and unions suck. David Smart for $20. Absolutely correct.
Well, I will disagree on this. Emma Stone full frontal nude, I'm all about. And I think I also, you're looking at that movie in a different, I originally saw it as like it's Bride of Frankenstein meets My Fair Lady. Someone else pointed out to me, it's Frankenhooker. Have you ever seen a movie called Frankenhooker?
Yeah.
Starring James Lorenz with directed by Frank Henenlotter, who made Basket Case. It's a great, it's like an art house version of Frankenhooker. I enjoyed Poor Things. And Emma Stone, she's very, I like her.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say. Yeah, you know what, X-Ray Girl, you see Poor Things, and then we'll talk.
Okay.
I think Tom Holland's Peter Parker being sad that Aunt May died and Tony died. That's fine to cry. Him just being threatened with danger. And them repurposing the scene where he's doing the monologue, like he's got this giant, all this fucking equipment on him and it's about to crush him in the comic books. It's a famous scene. And he's like, I got to do this for Aunt May. He's not fucking crying. He's not fucking crying. So yeah, that's one of the biggest problems I had with the too early, not a big fan of the too early Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. Just not.
It's too emo for me, but whatever.
Way too emo. Having my first kid bought these on Blu-ray, Mel Brooks collection. Yes. I own the Mel Brooks collection. Ace Ventura 1 and 2, Terminator 1 and 2, Lord of the Rings trilogy extended, Star Wars 1 through 6, Indiana Jones 1 through 4. There's only 3 Indiana Jones movie. I don't know which this fourth one you speak or the fifth. Bloodsport. Don't want them to be an uncultured heathen. Good dad. That's all I'm gonna say. Here we go. Imperator 93 for $10. Hail all, especially X-Ray Girl, shameless simp. I regret nothing. Hey, at least you admit it. I appreciate your honesty. Mr. Gore, any independent filmmakers or studios today you recommend? Recommend one of each.
Well, this Angel Studios, I think, is doing really good work. In terms of movies, there was a movie that came out last year. I brought it up a couple times called Landscape with Invisible Hand. It's a very weird title, but it's really about what America will be in the next 10 years. It's about a complete lack of purpose, that most problems are solved by these bizarre aliens that come to Earth. And it's also about YouTube, as weird as that is to say. And I really enjoyed that movie. So there you go. And confirmation, X-Ray Girl does not have a Stanley Cup.
It's this is a waifu cup from Gigi Subs. Look at that.
There you go. I just keep seeing these videos of morons being excited over cups. And I wonder, I feel, first of all, I don't care, but when they refer them to a Stanley Cup, there's only one Stanley Cup to me, and that's the one that you win when you play hockey and you're a champion.
I actually thought you were asking Gary that at first.
No, I was asking you.
Such a girl thing to want
cup.
a cup.
But yeah, I don't think Gary cares about Stanley Cup, either the trophy or the actual drink dispenser.
No, absolutely not. Gary, name 5 Hobbit meals. Ask me. I'll repurpose that question for later because we're really short on time. Honey tea cakes, tea. I can't say. He wants specific Hobbit meals, so we can't just say 11's and second breakfast and all that shit. But I gave you a couple. Escape from Barbie Island for $10. Chris, what's the music video including the name? By the way, hi, Lefty. Chris, what's the music video including the name of the song that played during the end credits of Attack of the Dock, starring Kevin Pereira, Olivia Munn, and Stan Lee?
Oh, it's called Can't Do That No More. The music video is actually posted on YouTube, but also the entire soundtrack is on Spotify. So if you go to Spotify, look up Attack of the DOC exclamation point, you're going to hear not just like the score for Attack of the Dock, but also there's like 3 songs that we couldn't fit in that are kind of funny songs. So there's extra songs by Zach Selwyn, but Can't Do That No More is the name of the song. There's an extended version over the credits also on Spotify. So thank you for asking. Attack of the Doc not nominated for an Oscar, by the way, and people are upset about it. I appreciate their coming to my defense.
What? Who's
There you
coming to
go.
your defense? What's that about?
People are coming to my defense saying, how could Gore have done such a great job directing Attack of the Doc and not be nominated for an Oscar? I think it was America Ferrera said that.
America Ferrera said that, and I'll agree with her on that.
Yeah, she got one thing right. I don't know. Anyways, whatever. I didn't submit to the Oscars. I don't think I'd have a shot. They tend to the docs that are nominated by the Oscars, I tend to not love because they're all just political and social issue. It's very rare that they nominate a doc that's could be considered entertaining. So I just don't bother.
Yeah.
I don't mind being not part of the club. I don't care.
All right. No, who gives a fuck? Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, the doc was great. Best doc I saw that year.
Oh,
Bob A, 2 parts, €10 for $4.99. 1 and 2. I really miss those days when our favorite TV shows was at the start of the new series. You got a new cast member, a new musical motif, an improv set. You could smell the new tight fit uniforms, and you think cool shaved beard, bro. God, I miss Baywatch. It's dude. God, what place was I at? I think it's my dentist office where it's always playing. Hail. First, Attack of the Doc was amazing, Doc. Second, my local theater chain in Arizona, Harkins, decided to play the Lord of the Rings extended trilogy over 3 consecutive nights. Yeah, I'm thinking somebody at Warner Brothers heard our bitching, and I mean all of our bitching. Somebody had to. Yeah. And it said, like, motherfuckers, this was your last chance at a 20th anniversary. Release the fucking thing in theaters. And it took them like a month to get their shit together to go out and do it. Or maybe other theaters heard people talking about it because it's a legit question. Why aren't you, like, were you not around for the Star Wars 20th anniversary? It's a reason it's a reason it funded the prequels. I mean, like they did the special editions and it funded the fucking prequels. And it was like it opened again. It was like a brand new. I remember Howard Stern, that bitch, fucking complaining because Empire Strikes Back re-release beat his movie Private Parts.
Oh, there was 97. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I remember that they released them like a month apart. So, and they actually legit played like not like one screening.
No,
it was
full
like
screenings. There were lines opening night back when first come, first serve. It was great. It was fucking fantastic.
God, they should just do that with Lord of the Rings. I would like to see it over like 3 nights. Not like if they do the marathons. I can't deal with the marathons.
Over 3 nights would be great. And that's what they were doing at Alamo. Christopher
with an
White.
Intermission.
Dude, I've seen it enough where I could just go, okay, this is where I can go pee real quick. Like,
right. You
during the song where Aowen and Faramir like are gonna hook up in the medical ward, I'm like, okay, I'll just run and pee real quick. I saw Chris Gore alone drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's, and his hair, as usual, was perfect. Patrick Lemire for $4.99. Gore, did you hear groans when Gosling I'm Ken got nominated?
I didn't hear groans. No, were there groans? Where? At the CCA or like? Oh no, I know where he's talking about. He's talking about the when they made the announcement, which we did a watch party for it, where Alan and I got up at 5 a.m. and watched the Oscars being announced. Yeah, there was an audible groan when that was announced, and also there was like a non-reaction to like Nolan and Martin Scorsese being nominated, but like people overreacting to other types of people getting nominated. It's a weird, and most of the people in the audience were SAG members.
Yep.
So
R.E. Gato for $4.99. I just realized something. The new Doctor Who, literally a title of 1992 space movie. Yes, it is.
Oh no!
Ferd Turgeson on the Jaloja level. LA Times, now the broke face of woke supremacy. Oh, I'm gonna tweet that, bro. Hang on.
You got to quote tweet. You got to quote tweet the LA Times though.
Or
the screenshot of it. You got to do that, Gary.
Where is the one where everybody's bitching about? Here, I'll just search.
I'll find it, Gary. Keep reading. I'll find it.
Yeah, keep reading. I am gonna quote tweet that. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll DM you.
Yeah, DM it to me. Thank you, Ferd Turgeson. Drunk 3PO, and it's spelled drunk 3PO. for $2 says, man, why y'all hate me? LOL, because it's fun. Gabriel Knight for $4.99. True Detective Season 4 is woke and it sucks. Yeah, I got 12 minutes in. 12 minutes in. They're trying to connect it to Season 1. Fuck off. It's woke shit. Don't waste your time. Same as the latest Fargo and Justified. Yep. Can't go home again, baby. Adam Radke for $50 says, what's your take on 2001 A Space Odyssey versus nowadays movies? Holds up perfectly. That movie holds up better now than it did. It's an all-time classic. That's another thing that should have won Best Picture that year. Blade Runner should have won Best Picture. Star Wars should have won Best Picture. Raiders of the Lost Ark should have won Best Picture. Dark Knight should have won Best Picture. Saving Private Ryan. So these are all snubs. The other movies you're probably not even going to fucking remember. These are all-time classics that will stand the test of time. Timeless classics. Tonight is Return of the King. It's been amazing seeing them on the big screen for the first time. I was only 6 when Fellowship came out. Hail to the Fellowship. Oh, you youngster. White Chocolate for $5. Thank you very much. And for $10, Andrew Montpetit for $10 says, go Lions, first Super Bowl ever. Yeah, go Lions.
Yes.
Why not? It would be funny if they won and then like the Chargers would probably have the longest streak of not winning a Super Bowl. Of never winning a Super Bowl.
The Detroit Lions have never won a Super Bowl.
Well, neither have the Chargers, but the Chargers at least have been one. You guys haven't even been in one.
Yeah, we've never been to the Super Bowl.
Yep. Oh, wait. I think the Chargers get Harbaugh today, though. So that's going to be like,
yeah,
they keep pulling me back in. Shit. I like Harbaugh. Huge. I hope they get Harbaugh. But he's still going to be working for Spanos, so he'll probably last 3 years. 3 years. Wraith's Reign for $20. George Lucas said he wrote Star Wars as the adventures for 12-year-old boys. That doesn't mean women couldn't get into Star Wars. Agreed. The EU created one of the best storylines in Revan's adventure, KOTOR, Disney. Yeah, and actually, the EU made a lot of female fans. It did. One of the boys' properties that probably was really close to being 50-50, not quite, but like had the largest female audience, X-Men.
Yeah.
X-Men. Girls love the X-Men. Everybody loved the X-Men. There was something that really offered something for everybody. Remember the X-Men? Failed comic. It went it went into reprints. It like the Kirby Lee run went on, and then they just started reprinting, like repurposing old issues to keep it going. And then it essentially got relaunched with Giant Size X-Men #1, and they restarted it with X-Men 94. Uncanny X-Men 94.
Dude,
it was a failed comic. I was around when Wolverine just started getting popular, and that was the last real new, not fucking Deadpool, who's just basically a fourth wall breaking riff and kind of a nihilistic look at comics. Like a real fucking Marvel character was Wolverine, and he started getting popular in the late 70s, early 80s. Remember that Frank Miller miniseries where he went to Japan? Oh, fuck, that was good. Bruce Leroy Jenkins for $2. Frank, Lions head band is the new different.
Yes, I just added that to Shakespeare in my background.
Kate C, aka Snake Plush Kitten for $5. Chris, do you get your Super 8s from Thomas Videos on 14 Mile?
How did you know about that? Yeah, Thomas Video. I ended up working there when they went. I was a kid. I was literally like 9 years old. I'd go there and buy Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy, and a bunch of other Super 8 stuff. I bought the entire feature of Night of the Living Dead. I'd never seen it. I'd only seen the TV version. There's full frontal nudity in that film. There's a lot of nudity,
Chris,
in it.
Where did you send that tweet? Did you find it?
I haven't found it yet. I'm literally searching on my phone because I can't find it. I'm like, I found Michael Malice, and there's some screenshots. Nina Infinity.
Hang on. I'll just
I can read if you want to look.
You read my time.
Okay.
I found a screenshot I can send you.
I got it. There you go.
Okay. Daneska for €2. Is the word Bigfoot a racial slur?
It might be. It might be. You never know.
Peace or utter destruction for $1.99. What does God need with a starship?
Oh God, Star Trek 5.
Yes.
True believer for $2. Ask JDA what he thinks of Latinx. LOL.
Okay, I sent you a screenshot. Gary.
JD.
I don't know who JDA is.
JDA.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know JDA.
Sorry, true believer.
Did you say? I just need a screenshot of the headline that says LA Times.
I
no.
just DM'd you.
Okay.
Okay, we got a true believer for another $2 says Generation X is the OG F around and find out generation.
Really?
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 Did you find it, Gary?
I did. Keep going.
Okay. IO for £5 says 2 words on the enduring journalistic ethics of the fourth state. Walter Duranty. Eric K. Mod Supreme on the Streamlabs side for $1 says Gary is the dude talking about other dudes while talking some dudes with a bunch of dudes watching. Facts.
Yeah, I can't deny that.
Sarah Gould for $10 says, hey, Gary, have you seen Tolkien's Untangled What I Would Have Done playlist yet? Promise it's soul healing chicken soup for the TROP reviewer's soul. TROP.
The Rings of Power.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Say that one again.
Have you seen Tolkien Untangled's What I Would Have Done playlist yet?
I have not. I will. Chicken soup for the Rings of Power reviewer's soul. I will definitely read that because I need it. but it doesn't
Years
look like
later.
it doesn't look like what Morford Clark, Lady Gravemaster shared this in our Discord. Morford Clark shared a picture from the set, but it looks to me like it's from season 1. It doesn't look any different, like in any way. And they always improve and do little changes, and it looks like the same armor that she's wearing. It could be, and then if it is from the set, like right now, they wrap filming in June before the Film Actors Guild strike. So are they refilming? Are they reshooting season 2? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Could be from season 1 though, but we don't know because they haven't said a fucking thing. It's been awfully quiet, and it's been 2 years, and they finished principal photography, I believe the day before the Film Actors Guild strike, which was the 13th or 14th of June of last year. And we're about to get another House of the Dragon trailer. And they've already put one out, and they finished 3 months after them. So yeah, I think something's going on. I definitely think there's there's lots of rumors out there. We've heard from some legit people that there is big trouble. Big trouble. We do know there was layoffs at Prime Studios. Lean back, have a snack, take a nap for $10. Says Rolling Stone, aren't they the douches that thought it would be edgy to put a Boston bomber on their cover, and their defense was, but the German guy was on the cover of Time. Fuck these guys. Fuck them. They're a bunch of fucking woke idiots. Tired retro gamer for $9.99. There's women who love Star Wars. I was one of them, but it's not the big suburban caring college liberal market that Disney constantly tries to court to cash. You are correct. Early Berm for $10. Hi, everyone. Gary, sometimes I notice that you beat up head behind you on the gold-colored helmet on. Is that from the VR game where you fight in the Coliseum? Is it? Wait.
It's to your left.
Is it this?
I think. Yeah.
That's King Theoden's helmet with Az's face in it.
Oh, the popsicle stick Az?
Yeah. That's King Theoden's helmet by Weta with Az's face in it. I'll take a picture of it and put it on Twitter so you can see it a little better. Because Az doesn't go to the meetup, so we do little cutouts of him so people can take pictures with him at the meetup. That's what we do. Early burn for $10. Can you stream VR games? Oh my God, I would die in a VR game. Are you kidding me? With my eyesight, please try to blade and sorcery. You are a gladiator in the Coliseum, but you go in blind. Well, I mean, okay, that's a VR game. LOL. It would be funny to watch you figure out how while your enemies are coming. How is that a VR game? If you go in blind, isn't that just pretending you're playing a game with your eyes closed? I'm not understanding that at all. So that's a really cheap VR game. Okay, we made this VR game, but you're blind.
Just close your eyes.
It just sounds fucking what? The Grizzly for $10. I have never been more proud of a fandom than Warhammer fought back, and Gate kept the tourists so hard that they had to make a cope page on Twitter for themselves. Ark made a great video on it. Ark is a legend. Okay, I just want to point that out. That's great. Tell him to fuck off often. Does the Barbie monologue have anything about cheating with a married man? Baumbach, while his wife, Jennifer Jason Leigh, was pregnant? Oh. No, but that probably should have been there. Kaloth for $10. Hasbro plush had a time sale of Sabine robot with a Valentine's cutoff. Think they cancel this item if sales do not meet their goal? Yes. Not seen them do regular time gate pre-sale, usually open. Yes. Because they're trying to drum up sales for things people don't like. The Fantasy of Fun TV dad that ragged on Blu-ray and Doctor Who's DW's Chip Chilla because they have good father figure. Definitely a war on dads. There's a war on dads, says Andrew Montepete for $10. Deus Ex Macchiato for $10. To be fair, there are some people who will take their girl to see Madam Web on Valentine's Day. And the stars will be getting Final Destination over and over again. Yes. King Zing Sting for $13.99 Canadian. Another good example of boy and girls toys, creepy crawlers, and the Easy Bake Oven. Both are toys that make stuff in an oven, but completely different demos. Yep. Oilers Workshop for $9.99. I noticed in my own life, when information and education became so easy to access, I stopped feeling motivated to seek it out. Subconscious reaction. I think society has suffered from this fate. Yes. Giles was talking about it in season 7 of Buffy when they completely replaced the books in the library with the computers. Yeah, said the same thing. It was warning us then. Joji Monbonin.
Yo, Jim Bonin.
Joji, what you fucking want him? Yo, Jim Bonin for $10. Who you boning? Main story issue with Star Wars has always been the Jedi. The most popular element has been dead or dying out in all timelines. Yes, the somewhat fantasy element in a Western that is science fiction, where the technology is old and aged. We don't really know what it comes from. We don't need to know about fuel. It feels like a world. Tolkien did this. Michael Moorcock did this with Elric. You had really old, superior stuff that you see as aging to where it feels like that world is really lived in, and it's in decline. It's in decline. It's a world in decline. Really works for fantasy. Interesting concepts that George Lucas pulled off, and nobody else can. Declane lions for 10 British pounds. Pale, male, and stale is a maxim that came from gender studies in U.S. universities. I agree. It's been around for decades. It just took this long for these idiots to blackmail and bully their way into power. Yep, they fully infiltrated. You are correct. Enoch Maman, abuser of Streamlabs for $10. If the Lions go to the Super Bowl but lose, don't you worry. There'll be a 3 a.m. ballot dump that makes them the winner the next day. It's the Detroit way.
Yeah. Hey, I'll say this, Gary. If the Detroit Lions win the NFC Conference Championship and go to the Super Bowl, I'm driving to Vegas. I'm going to find a way to get a ticket or to be
you can.
At the biggest. I'm just going to find a way.
You're going to have to spend a lot of money.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I say
maybe there'll be some connects.
Cheap seats, $1,200. Just go on StubHub.
All I'm saying is it's on my bucket list.
Hey,
And earlier in the private chat, I also revealed to you a bucket list thing that happened to me, which I can't
yes.
publicly speak about.
So, like when we went to the Super Bowl, my dad did the same thing. Waited till game time to scout some tickets. The game had started a little bit, so we missed the first couple of minutes. And this was in 1994. We got 3 tickets, $700 each. The good thing was we missed part of the game. I'm standing behind Donald Trump. And I got to meet Donald Trump.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
But who was he married with? She was hot. Who was he married to in 94?
Ivana? Was it Ivana Trump?
It was after Ivana. I think was it Marla Mickle, something like that.
Somebody
Maples?
Yeah,
No.
Marla Maples. She came after Ivana, right?
I had no idea.
I honestly didn't give a shit. I was just like, whoa, Donald Trump. He's tall. Okay. Escape from Barbie Land for $5. Gary, reading and going over the Barbie monologue is going to be clipped. Hi, TikTok. Hi, Twitter. Fucking clip that shit. We had a whole channel that was just re-uploading my content on TikTok. Like without changing it at all. It's gone now.
Oh.
It's gone now. But yeah. Whatever. I mean, there's whole sections devoted to Ryan.
He's very popular over there.
Yeah. Like if you want to transform it all day long, go ahead. But if you're just re-uploading it without anything, then it gets pulled. Daniel Pace for €2. Gary, how would you write the Star Wars sequel trilogy? I've talked about this before, and other people have come up with this concept. I think it's pretty fucking simple. You have an outside force come in that's big and bad that forces the remnants of the Empire and the rebuilding Republic to band together to fight. It's an interesting concept. Yeah, it's a little bit like End of Serenity. It's a little bit like Game of Thrones, where everybody's squabbling, but we've got some big bad coming out from the north that's going to force them to band together if they can, something like that. But I think that's just a better concept than let's redo the fucking original trilogy badly. Matthew Grumman for $5. The last time Rolling Stone was good was when Hunter S. Thompson was drinking and snorting his way through the articles on sports and politics. Exactly. He wrote for remember when he wrote for, it wasn't called ESPN.com. It was they had another more edgy site that you can go to. And Hunter S. Thompson in his final years was writing technically for ESPN, which is funny. Boss Neeson for $1.99. Shout out to Lost Souls. My childhood died. Maverick Pilgrim for $1.99. Madam Web equals thwip flop. A thwip flop. Oh, that's good. Jaffo on the Bound for $4.99. 20 minutes delay. Game of Thrones Battle of the Bastards on Father's Day. Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't know that was on Father's Day either. I've got some others listed, though. Some other father issues. By the way, I watched X-Ray Girl's X video. Says drunk TPO for $2. Yeah, we know you publicly stated it. Mark Klein for $5. Bosch on Amazon was a pretty good father-daughter relationship that develops in season 1. All right. Nikolai Volkov for $5. Noticed in Coco and Encanto that the strong matriarchal grandmother, which is in reality inverse in most Hispanic families, an inverse of most Hispanic families, Disney lies. Yes, they do. Well, I mean, they just did an indigenous thing where Echo, where women played a game they never played. They just filled with girl bosses because, so matriarchal. Those, I'll say younger tribes. The old tribes go way, way back. It was different back then. Oilers Workshop for $4.99. I was there opening night in 97 for the re-release, dressed as Darth Vader with my dad. I was 11. I was the only one dressed up. Core memory. Love you, Dad. Rest in peace. Aw. Crit Nature on the Streamlabs side for $5. Have you guys heard about the piano player in London? Yes, we have. He was approached by CCP members who demanded to stop him playing the music. Lotus Eaters covered it. Yeah, I would have, he was being way too patient. I would have just gone, go fuck yourself, and I'd start putting a camera in their face. and I just start singing the song, fuck communism. Communism sucks. I just make up a song about communism sucking. Volbeck for $5, but he got, the Brits. He's like, why? I'd just be all, fuck you. Get fucked. Volbeck for $5. Gary, did you ever do a square up for Last FNT? Not yet. I sent my first super chat ever and never going to hear you read it. Very depressing, says Volbeck. You want to find it real quick?
Sure. Just go for the next one.
Yeah, we're going to try to get it done Thursday. I mean, we have time, or I'm just going to have to record one Friday. I want to do the gaming one. Okay.
For $20.
Read it.
Oh, I put it next to it. FNT is in need of some serious big fig representation. Drunken JPO needs to be on every Friday. When is Gay J Day again?
It's Gay J Day every day. I'm glad you asked. There we go. Jay can be on while we read the rest of the super chats here. Dirt is King for $5. To be fair, the short film of George Lucas in Love was the best revenge towards Shakespeare in Love. It was made with actual love. Have y'all seen it? Yes. And I fucking hate Shakespeare in Love. Jesus Davila for $1.99. Thank you for the super sticker. It was nice meeting you, my friend. Lauren and Matt for $4.99. Gary, thanks for all you do. You inspire me to make a channel and continue the battle to save the sanity left in the world. Much love, brother. Right back at you, Lauren and Matt. Chris B for $2. Critics Court Trial Star Trek still happening, Chris. Chris is out getting coffee. I'm going to say yes, but he's doing Marvel first, I believe. I believe he's doing Marvel first, and that's it. Hey, thanks, Jay, for joining us for reading the rest of the super chats. We really appreciate.
Thank you for being here, Jay.
Your presence here, Jay. Christmas is over, bro. Yeah, it's over. It's over. But Chris is going to be doing Marvel first, but Star Trek will happen. I can't wait for Robert Meyer Burnett to lay it out. Nobody will beat that guy. Nobody. He will take you out to the woodshed with his Star Trek knowledge. Okay. Fucking woodshed. All right, that wraps it up. Chris Gore is going to be doing a show over on Film Threat.
In half an hour?
Yes, 35 minutes. We're going live with Hollywood on the Rocks. And you're right. Robert Meyer Burnett and Star Trek will be the next trial.
Oh, it is the next trial. I thought you were doing Marvel.
It is well, okay. We put it out there like, should we do Marvel? What's the good timing? But we did promise Star Trek. Maybe we'll do 2 trials this year, but we'll see. But yeah, Star Trek was originally planned. We could change to Marvel, but we're definitely doing Critics Court this summer. It's coming back. Sorry, I had to run and take care of some stuff, but I am back.
Hang on. Oh, I thought you were putting...
Yeah.
I was going to... Yeah. I wanted to put the reaction of them getting the Oscar to kind of close it out. But
that's a good thing. Yeah.
With their little celebration video. That's fucking awesome, man.
They were watching live. I mean, like, I feel like they should have gotten more, frankly. And the thing is,
fuck the Academy. Like, Oscars is fucking retarded.
Are you talking about Godzilla -1?
Yeah.
I have the video. I found it.
Share it up. That's a good way to go. This is what we miss. This is what we miss.
Okay, before I do that, Drunk TPO for $2 says, "Hey, I'm looking at that video right now." Good.
Okay. Yeah, let's watch it together. Let's see it. This is
a heartwarming video. I love this. He's saying it's so cute.
Oscar!
Yatta!
Now wait, so where are you and Alan?
People? That's Alan there because he's wearing he's not wearing glasses. And there's me.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I thought I saw you guys there.
I want the little statues here.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great, and that's why we still love this stuff, and and that's why all the best stuff has come from the East. Ted Sarandos yesterday said Squid Game season 2 is coming out this year. He said
Oh,
that.
you're kidding.
Yeah, he said it's coming out this year, probably later in the year.
I'm gonna watch
in his earnings
rewatch.
call, I think that was kind of the biggest news. There's
Huge.
there's the WWE. God, I hate that. I want to say WWF. Raw is going to be out. They did a 10-year deal for $5 billion. That's crazy. And
wow.
That's by the way, he mentioned that $5 billion came from the $17 billion. That wasn't because they were asked this question. They're like, hey, was that wrestling deal extra spend on top of what you committed for entertainment? He's all, no, it was part of the spend, which means that's $5 billion less that went to a writer, an actor, a producer from the WGA, from the Producers Guild, whatever the fuck it's called, and from the Film Actors Guild. How's your strike feeling now? How's your fucking strike feeling now?
It's what you were saying yesterday on Real BBC, Gary. It's like they're not going to be doing the as much original programming, and that is huge. I mean, people are going to subscribe to Netflix only for that. That's the only. Yeah. I mean, that's the only reason that Alan Ng, for example, he subscribes to Peacock for wrestling. That's why he has Peacock.
Do you want to know why I subscribe to the only reason I subscribe to Peacock?
What?
They have the TV versions of the Harry Potter films. So from 3 on, you get, because you can buy on Blu-ray and 4K the basically the director's cut of the first 2, but you can't after that. But all the TV cuts, so they're all longer versions that have that are basically director's cut, and it makes Goblet of Fire a lot better. Like a lot better. Yeah. So that's why I subscribe. That's the only reason. Otherwise it'd be gone. It'd be gone. Although I did, Twisted Metal was on Peacock, and I liked that. I thought it was fun. I thought Twisted Metal was fun. It was crazy. And I didn't even play the game. All right. What do you got coming up, Chris? Quick. Or did we already say that?
Hollywood on the Rocks in 30 minutes.
Okay.
But I have lunch on the stove, which is what.
There you go. X-Ray Girl, what do you got coming up?
Going to be playing Power World tonight, as per usual. Hopefully we have some people joining us, the addicts in the fellowship, and then 9 p.m. Eastern, Poor Choices. So yeah.
Excellent.
Can I get that game on PS5?
No, so you can play it on Xbox, Microsoft Store, or Steam, but there's no cross-play between Xbox and Steam.
I have 2 PS5 games now. I have the Ghostbusters remastered special edition and RoboCop. 2. They're still in
You'll stream that in 2 years.
The plastic is still on the case, and it'll probably be there for a while. But Chris and I are going to do Greek Geezer Gaming with what is it called? I want to be a YouTuber or be a YouTuber.
YouTuber's Life OMG.
OMG. YouTuber's
OMG.
Life OMG.
Oh my God. It looks so bad.
It looks fucking lame as fuck. All right. We're going to end it there. I'm going to see Dune tonight in IMAX.
Same.
So jelly.
AMC Burbank 16. I'll be there tonight. See you there.
All right. And if just hang on to the link if you want to watch it. Otherwise, it'll be uploaded on Nerdrotic Live in a little bit. Please subscribe over there. We're trying to get to 100,000. Trying to get to 100,000. And we'll see y'all next time. Ciao, Bella.
Later.